If you've seen any of my other videos and you are now gardening with ollas, then the next step in improving your game in the garden is to collect rainwater to use with these ollas. Rainwater has a ton of benefits for your plants. A couple of simple ones are that it's more of a natural pH for your plants. It's slightly acidic. It doesn't have any of the chemicals that municipal water does that sometimes make the water more hard. And it's sustainable. It's coming from the sky. There's no pumping, there's no purifying, there's nothing, which also really improves the soil microbiome, all the little fungus and things living beneath the soil that benefit your plants. So today I'm going to show you how to make the, I think, simplest, cheapest rain barrel for use with ollas. The two biggest things you're going to need for this project are going to be a barrel, something to collect the water in. You can use just like a cheap 32-gallon garbage bin. This is what I got, one from Menards. You could use metal, you could use other containers if you have them. I like this because it's a good height. I can reach into it. It holds a lot of water. 32 gallons is a lot of water. And it was really cheap. It's like 15 bucks. And then you're gonna need one of these, and I'll put the link in the description below, but this is the actual diverter that is gonna bring water from your gutter into the barrel. And I'm gonna show you how that works in just a minute. So I tried to keep the list of things you need for this project very minimal. So first off, you're gonna wanna have a drill, some hole bits for cutting into your barrel. This is some extra screen. We'll talk about that in a minute, and a way to attach the screen to the barrel, and then a way to cut your gutter. So those are the main things, as well as a way to attach the gutter to the house here. So very simple. Other than the barrel itself, these these materials are the only ones that you need to have. To start, you're gonna wanna match the hole bit up to the size of the input hose from the Mystic, and then just drill that through the top of the barrel. It doesn't matter where, it's just important that you get it through so you can put the hose in, and then it's a nice clean hole. And then you're gonna wanna do the same thing on the side of the barrel. Make sure you don't get your dogs in the way, but this is gonna be our outlet valve in case the barrel gets overfilled. You're gonna wanna cover the outlet hole with some sort of mesh screen. Here I have some extra window screen, and I'm using just a marine grade adhesive that I got from Menards to attach that screen firmly to the side of the barrel. That way mosquitoes aren't gonna be able to get into the barrel and lay eggs. So now we have a screen filter that is attached to our barrel so that when the water hits the overflow, it will run out, but we won't get mosquitoes going in there and laying a bunch of eggs. On one of my last rain barrel projects, I made the mistake of not creating a level base for the barrel, and it filled up and tipped over, actually landed in my window well for my basement. Everything was fine, but it's important that you take your time to get a good level base. So here I'm using cinder blocks. They're plenty big enough for the barrel, which is just the garbage can, and then I'm gonna use the level to make sure that they're nice and level. The next thing you're going to want to do is measure out the cut for your whole diverter kind of unit. I had to include an adapter on the top since my gutters are a larger size than the OD Mystic comes in. So you might want to look into that. I'll have that in the description below as well. But once you get a good clean line, you're going to be able to get a sense of how much gutter needs to come out for that diverter to fit in there nice and snug. After that, I decided to attach my gutter to the house so that it was a bit more stable while I was cutting it. I would highly recommend this. It tends to wobble around. I just used some kind of metal cable. It's not even a cable, it's more of like a brittle metal that has holes in it, and you're able to just drill in kind of bracket style, drill it into the wall. And it's really nice because it's so brittle, you can break it right off right at the length that you need. And now for the actual cutting, I put some cardboard behind the gutter to protect the house, the siding. This is a good idea. I did not have like a little hacksaw. Those give you a little bit more control. If you have one, awesome, would totally recommend. I have a big Sawzall, which I'm gonna use in a minute. And that is much more powerful and definitely needs a guard so I don't ding inside of the house. One thing to remember in this process is wear eye protection. Even with a hacksaw, you might get some little bits and bobs. Cutting itself is pretty straightforward. I'm gonna speed it up here so you can just see how it went, but gutters are brittle. They cut pretty easily, which is great. So you're able to, as long as they're well supported or well backed up, they're much easier to cut through. And because they're brittle, once you get a good enough cut, if you can kind of wiggle the pipe around a little bit, it's going to give you a way to kind of snap the gutter off at the cut line. One thing to be careful with is as you're cutting these, the metal on the gutter can get very sharp. So be careful, wear protection on your hands if you need it. Just watch out for those edges because you could nick yourself and get a pretty good cut on the actual gutter, not even the saw. But once I got it out, it was pretty easy just to take right off. The hardest part of getting this thing attached was getting my adapter on, which had nothing to do with the OD Mystic at all. But it was just required a little bit of kind of squeezing of the gutter until I got it. The good news is that means it's really secure. I'm not worried about it coming out at all. But it was a little tricky. So in, transparency's sake, I wanted to show you guys. Just it took a minute for me to get it on there. Really quickly, this is the OD Mystic rainwater catcher. And as the water flows down, it gets caught in this outside, along the outside of the gutter and runs through to the diverter. But it allows room for sticks and leaves and whatever else to fall down the middle. So it's a pretty good system. The pieces just fit together kind of like Legos or big Duplos. They just sort of slot right together and they go right into the gutter. And once it's all intact, you'll see how that kind of hard plastic forms basically a new gutter, including the drain pipe. To get the thing assembled, just get your barrel and get the top of the barrel on snug so that you have something to work with. And then you're just gonna take that pipe and you're gonna put it from the OD Mystic right through the barrel, or vice versa, whatever's easier for you. I'm gonna speed it up here. You can see the process. You just kind of gotta fuss with it a little bit. But once you get it attached, the slip fitting on the OD Mystic is very strong and you should not run into any problems with it coming off. I've not had any problems with that. The water is going to come down into the barrel and then it will run out the side. So that's the build. It's pretty simple. You could put another size adapter on the bottom there if you wanted to clean it up a little bit. I'm probably going to paint that metal on the bottom to kind of get it to blend in. It's okay that this shifts around a little bit. It's not coming out, but it's in place. The rain will go down into the barrel, and if we need it to, we'll come out through our overflow there. And I'm going to show you with water in it how this was meant to be used as well. To get water out of this, it's a really simple system. Because I'm putting it in a watering can, I don't need it in any other application. I'm just going to take my lid off, just enough. I'm going to drop my watering can in. Till it's full. Let it drip. I don't lose too much extra water. And there we go. And then I can seal the can right back up. And now I'm back in business, collecting water. Another thing about this side chute over here is that you could actually have more barrels lined up so that when this one fills up, flows over into this one, you would just need to include some tubing that connects over. Thank you so much for joining me for this project. I hope you build one yourself. Let me know how it goes. When I added up all of the materials, this was around $70, which is an amazing value considering I'm expecting to get many years out of it. And it's going to be great with my ollas for extending and not having to use municipal water, which is awesome. So let me know if you give it a chance. Like and subscribe for more of this content to help your garden be as sustainable and productive as possible. Thanks so much.